Hey guys, it's Stampede OP here, and I'm coming back with another video. I know it's been some time I haven't made a video, and I don't wanna, I don't wanna like not upload for for a long time. So I'm really sorry that I haven't made a video in a while. But as you all know, the UFC. Well, this is my second UFC video, and I did say on my channel that I am gonna be making UFC videos. So for the people who do watch UFC, um, uh, here's a UFC fight prediction. So as you all know, whoever watches UFC, that there is UFC 239 is happening today, in Las Vegas, and it's Jon Jones versus Thiago Santos. And I just wanted to make this is my fight. This is my fight prediction for the main event. So yeah, let's get into the predictions. So the way I like to make my predictions is first talk about both of the fighters' strengths, and then talk about both of the fighters' weaknesses, and then give my prediction on who I think is gonna win. So let's start with Jon Jones. I mean, first of all, let me just say this. I mean, I know this is like a very, Jon Jones is a huge favorite, and he does have most of the skills on his side. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that first of all. So let's get into the prediction. So Jon Jones, his strengths. I mean, he does almost everything. Good. He has good boxing. He has amazing kicks, amazing body kicks, amazing oblique kicks, kicks to the thighs. Kicks to the side of the thighs. He has a great head kicks. He has amazing wrestling. He has 5 round cardio. He fights amazing in the clinch. He does have pretty good submissions too, and he also has. He's a little bigger than Thiago Santos. He's a little bigger than him, so he is gonna be the bigger guy in this fight. He is a little bigger than him, and he's a little fat. I wouldn't say he's way faster than him, but I mean, I don't really know. I mean, they're both really fast. Actually, not. You know what? Jon Jones might be a little faster than Thiago Santos. He might be a little more faster than him. Yeah, he is, because he is younger, so he is going to be a little more faster than him. Um, and yeah, that's basically Jon. He has amazing takedown defense, and he has spinning elbows, amazing elbows in the clinch. Jon Jones does almost everything properly. He hits in the clinch. He hits you with the shoulders. He does a lot. And let's go to Thiago Santos. So basically, Thiago Santos, his strengths there they are, um, his strengths are, he has very good boxing. He has a lot of power in his hands. He does hit harder than Jon Jones. He hits harder. If you've seen how he knocked out Jan Blachowicz, and he knocked out he knocked out Jan Blachowicz, and he knocked out Jimmy Manuwa. Those were some really, really hard shots, and they were fast punches. Especially how he knocked out Jan Blachowicz. Oh my goodness, he stepped back, and he slipped Jan's punch, and then he just caught him right on the chin. That was so fast. That's one of the fastest punches I've ever seen in a UFC fight. I mean, that was incredibly fast. It kind of looked like a lightweight. It looked like a featherweight or a lightweight doing something like that. That was crazy fast. He does have some really good leg kicks. He has pretty good takedown defense as well. And so he does hit harder than Jon Jones, and he hits harder than Jon Jones, and he does have really good boxing, and he is very, very fast. So let's now those are both of the fighters' strengths. Now let's go to both of their weaknesses. Um, as you all know, I mean, Jon Jones, he doesn't really have too many weaknesses. I mean, the only weakness that I could think of Jon Jones is that if you slip a punch of his, or if you dodge a kick, right? And that little amount of time in between there where he gets his guard back up, he kind of leaves himself open, right? Like if he throws a punch, right? Or if he throws a kick and you counter him, or if you slip the punch and you counter him, he does leave himself open a little bit, And he usually likes to post up and retreat backwards. He doesn't really have too much defense when he's doing. He has pretty good striking defense. Don't get me wrong, but when you counter him in that little amount of time, in that little like 1 or 2 seconds, and like he doesn't defend himself very good. So if you counter his punch like you saw Lyoto did to his kick, he kicked Lyoto Machida, and Lyoto countered with that big right hand. Gustafsson also countered with a lot of right hands in their first fight. In the second fight, it wasn't really too much. Um, And yeah, that's about it. There's no other weakness for John Jones really. He really does everything pretty well. And for Thiago Santos, I mean, his weaknesses, he does wing out punches a lot. He does wing out punches a lot. I don't think he has 5 round cardio. I think he can go 3 rounds pretty well, but 5 rounds I don't think he'll, because he does put a lot of force into his punches and he goes really fast. So I have a feeling he might gas himself out if he keeps doing that in this fight. And he does wing out his punches a lot. And John Jones is one of the best at distance work and slipping punches. So I mean, that's a very bad thing to do against Jon Jones. So Thiago Santos, he does wing out punches a lot. I don't think he has 5 round cardio, and I mean, he's not as good in the clinch as Jon Jones. But here's the thing about Thiago Santos, he does things pretty well too. He has pretty good takedown defense. He has pretty good boxing. He has pretty good kicks, right? But the only weakness that I see in him is that he wings out punches a lot. And he doesn't really set up. Sometimes he doesn't really set up punches too much. Like in a Jimmy Manuwa fight, just wing. I mean, Jimmy Manuwa was going like brawling with him too. So yeah, that's kind of the reason why he had to kind of do that with him. But yeah, that's his weaknesses. But at the end of the day, so for my fight prediction on who I think is gonna win, at the end of the day, I'm gonna go with Jon Jones. Obviously Jon Jones, he is way more well-rounded, and he has way more tools to win this fight. So I'm gonna go with Jon Jones. I'm gonna go by a 3rd round submission. I think Jon Jones, he is the bigger guy. He's a little bit bigger. He has really good wrestling, so I think he'll be able to take him down, work in the clinch, the elbows, keep taking down Thiago Santos repeatedly. And just use his elbows on the ground, use his wrestling, tire him out, and I think he'll be able to get a submission in the 3rd round. So I'm gonna go Jon Jones. I'm gonna go by a 3rd round submission. And yeah, that's it, guys. That's my prediction for UFC 239 for the main event. Also, if you guys want to know who I think is gonna win between the Jorge fight and the Ben Askren fight, I do think Ben Askren's gonna win, but it's a very, very, very close fight. I could totally be wrong. I'm only slightly going with Ben Askren. The only reason I'm going with Ben Askren is because Ben Askren he is a very good wrestler, and Jorge has had problems with wrestlers in the past. So I do think and it is a 3 round fight. So I think Ben Askren will be able to like take him down and control him. And I think he'll be able to win a decision. But it's a very close fight. I could totally be wrong. I could totally be wrong. Jorge could win that fight very easily. He could knock out Ben Askren. The only problem is because Jorge's takedown defense, it's not like it's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. I don't think it's on that level where he would be able to stuff like most of Ben Askren's takedowns. That's why I think Ben Askren would win a decision. But I could be very well wrong with that fight. So for those are my predictions for UFC 239, and it is a very stacked card. So I suggest you guys should watch it. And yeah, so I will be making a reaction video on the UFC 239. I will be reacting to some fights. So I will be making a reaction video to UFC 239. I'll be reacting to some fights, and hopefully you guys enjoy the video. And I will see you guys in the next video.